You're live. I turned your mic up. We are live. Speaking of live, we're live from Studio B here at the Beach Street Yacht Club on 2 days before Christmas on the 23rd of December. Thank you for joining us here as I put up the TBJ, the Tom, Julia, and Studio B credentials there, the lower third. Andy Cox checking in from Bermuda. I have a great knack of always starting the show at the start of our happy hour in Bermuda. Yeah, it's 1700 there. They're plus 4 hours to us. Merry Christmas to you, Andy. And to anyone else wanting some eggnog, as Peter Taylor checks in from New York City. Hello, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Tracker is Ed Worley. Cheers and Merry Christmas, he's saying. Rick Bannerow is in Georgetown, Washington, D.C. Must be down there with family. As others are checking in from around the world. Julia, I trust you are well.
I'm not sure, sir.
You're not so sure. You look good.
Good.
Huh?
That's half the battle.
You look pretty good.
Yeah, that's half the battle.
That's half the battle. I'm your host, Tom Eman, thy co-host and landlady and Commodore of the Beach Street Yacht Club, as usual, here together. We have blue shirts. You blue dress, blue shirt on today. Looks good in the lighting and the saturation.
Yes.
Or maybe not. There's Tom Fishback. We were seeing Tom online down in Newport Beach when I was there over the weekend. He invited us over for a cocktail at his place prior to the Saturday night Saturday night boat. You know, that parade goes on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was really nice of you, Tom. Sorry we couldn't make it over there. Alan Long is in Mexico City. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. And Clayton Embley is in the wheelhouse. Hello, Tom, Julia, and the Fosey. We're going to start calling him Captain Clayt. He's a captain.
Oh, yeah?
On the rivers and on the in Kentucky and beyond. Alistair Murray checking in from Melbourne. Good day, Tom, Julia, and the Fosey. As today is the first day of my 8th decade. Is it your birthday today, Alistair, or was it yesterday? I have a house full of family and friends, and we'll be in and out of the show. Merry Christmas to all. And Alistair, happy birthday.
Absolutely.
To you. Happy birthday to you. Alistair Murray, past president of the Australian Sailing Federation. As we get this one to the starting line, Julia,
sir,
I guarantee you, we have a full, long show today.
That I know.
There's a lot going on. Happy Tuesday and is it Christmas week? Are we celebrating the December solstice?
Yes.
Or what else? What else, Julia, are we celebrating?
What else?
We'll get to it in a minute. Upcoming Sailing Illustrated schedule, as you in the Commonwealth might say. 3 shows this week, today, Thursday, and Friday. We'll do that watch party. Tell you some more about that in a moment. Do you remember the show, Julia? TW? That was the week. That was.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yes.
Well, we're going to cover the weekend that was for a number of us here, and thanks for your many comments about our unfortunate situation here over the weekend in San Francisco. Luckily, I was down south in SoCal, and Julia didn't have any. You didn't have any outage here in the marina.
No, but by the skin of my teeth, and 130,000 people did.
Yeah, it was a blackout, virtual blackout here in San Francisco. But Bravo Zulu, the huge youth worlds, has wrapped up in Villamore. We'll celebrate a nice video celebration of the winners, the medalists. Bravo Zulu 2 to the Star Sailors League at the Southeast Asia Games. Philippines and Oman have qualified for next year's finals in Rio. We've also got video highlights of that. Coaching Corner, of course, with John Emmett, who's down on the farm. He's back home at the Imberhorn Farm, the family home, and talking teamwork, Julia. AC38, the big feature on today's show. AC38 has announced 5 teams as ACP, America's Cup Properties founders. And we're going to ask all of you, is this ACP thing, is it correct or is it Curtonic? That's the whole format for the next cup, of course. AC38 scheduled to be in Naples already in 2027. It's just a little over a year away, actually. Preview of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia's 80th Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. We have some nice bow caddy media interviews from Cosme Lorimer. Some great stuff coming out of Sydney in preparation in advance and preview of the Boxing Day, your Thursday, your Friday, our Thursday night, and we will be covering that, the start, as usual, live. Finally, AAAA, Alistair Murray has the ILCA double gold medalist Matt Weirin, who's just announced he's going back for another go, a third go at the Olympics, probably win the gold again. Last leg, Team Hollywood in the Australian boat has pipped Vayu, the Thai boat, with Queen Sathita aboard as the navigator in the Phuket, fuck it, in the Phuket,
Careful.
Phuket, the Phuket Kings Cup. We better be careful. This day in history, Whiskey Tango, Foxtrot, and of course, our fantastic Fozy. The upcoming show, the schedule, this week we're doing the 3 shows, having skipped Friday when I was traveling last week. Today's show, and then we'll do our watch party on Thursday, and of course our regular show on Friday. The watch party, the Rolex Sydney to Hobart Yacht Race Watch Party, the start thereof at 17:30 Pacific. That's our Christmas night on the 25th. That's our Thursday night, which is 01:30 plus 1 UTC. So in your early Friday morning in Europe, and of course it's your middle of the day down under where the racing is taking place, starting in Sydney Harbor. New Year's week, we'll do our regular show. We'll do Friday show, of course, this week. And then New Year's week, next week, we'll do our regular Tuesday and Friday shows, Julia, at 1300 Pacific. Pacific Standard Time this time of year.
Yes.
I want to thank the Commodore, the newly installed, the coronation, it really was. It was such a fabulous event.
Yeah.
Super Fozy Claire Harrington was elected New York Yacht Club Commodore last week at the end and installed at the annual meeting last week. It was a fabulous event, huge turnout. We covered that on last Tuesday's show. Thanks to Claire for sitting that interview, her first interview as Commodore. She sat with me on Friday morning last week when we aired that on Tuesday's show.
It was a nice interview.
Wasn't it fun?
Yeah.
It was good. And thank you, Claire. She sent, by the way, the humble person that she is. And she said, she sent this cartoon in which then she crossed out a few names. She said, this me supposedly are there in the green jacket. So tell us, Claire, for how long have you been a talking dog after doing that interview? And the cue card says, well, Tom, I've been talking for quite some time now.
That's
lovely. The nice thing about Claire is that she is articulate, but not glib.
Yes.
She's just off the cuff, thoughtful. Obviously, her brain is wired a megahertz or two faster than a lot of ours.
Right.
And just comes off as a normal, modest, humble human being. It's nice to be with her. It's nice to have her as a friend and nice to have her as a superfo. By the way, I got a Christmas present from her.
Oh, yes.
I haven't opened it yet. I think I have a feeling I know what it is. She sent in them yesterday.
Yes.
This is the magic hat that replaces the magic hat that daughter Meg, when she was up here a few weeks ago, remember?
Took off with it, yeah.
She saw this hat that Claire had sent me earlier from her name of her yacht is Magic, her 70-footer. And Meg liked that hat. She liked the color. She liked the branding. She liked everything about it. The Commodore's, I guess that was the Commodore's flag and the New York Yacht Club Burgee cross. Yeah. And she absconded with my first magic hat. Claire kindly sent me another one. Yellow, if you're a Michigan fan, notwithstanding all the problems that Michigan are having right now.
Yes, yes.
I mean, what is wrong with that university of ours? One scandal after another, and a coach who was a crouton, and the new coach hopefully is going to get them through the bowl season intact. And they got to get rid of the AD, the athletic director.
Oh, yeah.
He is a mega crouton, a super crouton. Claire Harrington sent that cartoon in because she is something else. That was the power outage, Julia.
Right.
That you all suffered through. I was down south, down in Newport Beach for the weekend, but look at all the red. And those of you who know San Francisco, this is the waterfront up here, and the two yacht clubs of note here on the North Shore of San Francisco, St. Francis Yacht Club and Golden Gate Yacht Club. We are right here in just a couple, 3 blocks, really
Right.
2 blocks in from the water in what's called the Marina District, and then Cow Hollow just behind us to the south. And for some reason, you all had power here, Julia.
Well, we're on different
Circuits.
circuits. Yeah.
Well, it was a bit of a circus because the rest of the time you were out for quite some time. And thank you. The only reason for putting this in is not to talk about our power outage here, but to thank everybody for the very kind notes. I mean, I had
Yes.
notes and calls from Clark Chapin. Is Julia okay?
Yeah, Clark was the only one, and I thanked him for it because he said, "Oh my God, she's in her elevator and she can't get out."
Well, that's right. If power goes out here, you
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to get out, especially if the place started to burn down. You'd have to jump out into the backyard and try to land in one of those trees. But
No,
and
I'm
Claire
a little
Harrington,
bit better prepared than that. But
I heard from a lot of different people, Julia, who checked in and said, "Are you guys okay?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, I'm keeping in touch with
Yeah.
Julia and our friend, our friend Darlene Hines, who
Yes.
just lives around the corner, was also looking after you, and she's
Yeah.
very thoughtful and kind." But yeah,
She
the power
is.
did go out, and it was made worldwide news. Not so much because of the power outage. I mean, we all have power outages, but because of these autonomous taxi cabs we have called the Waymos. This is an Alphabet Google service, and these things are all over the city now.
yes,
And by not the dozen, there must be 100 of them running around all the time. Well, what happens is that when the traffic lights went out, and you can see all the cameras on the sides of these things, and the sensors, and the LiDAR, and I don't know what all is going on there, all those different sensors. And one of the things, of course, they sense are the traffic lights. And when the traffic lights went out, the cars got corn-fused, as we would say in Michigan,
yes,
and they stopped.
in the middle of these intersection and other places.
In the middle of intersections, blocking, even though you can see some traffic lights down the street a bit, they were on, or they were locked on red, I'm not sure which, but the traffic lights right in that intersection were off. And these poor cars, driverless cars, autonomous cars, got so damn confused. I think it's hilarious, Julia. It's what's this world come to? So they survived, we survived, and everybody's back in action.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what is fun. If you ever get the chance to go to Newport Beach at Christmas time, they have this lighted boat parade par excellence. It's better than any other such parade I've seen anywhere in the world. And it goes on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, 5 nights. And they get over 100 boats, and it's the Christmas Boat Parade. This was the 117th edition. Our sailing team, It's Okay, Andy Rose, Steve Frederick, and Tom Purcell and co. host a party at the home of Andy and Steve right on the water in Newport Beach. And the parade goes by at about 7:15. And you watch the parade for half an hour, 45 minutes, and ooh and ah, and then have some dinner.
Is it only 45 minutes?
Well, it's maybe a little longer than that, but how long can you watch one of these parades?
Now.
No, it's good fun. I mean, to wit.
Yeah.
Most beloved holiday traditions you see right there. Tonight, it's lighting up the harbor once again. The Newport Beach Christmas Boat Parade is back for its 117th year, bringing fireworks and dozens of over-the-top decorated boats to the water. Fox 11's Chelsea Edwards is live in Newport Beach with a front-row view for that action. Chelsea, boy, did you get lucky tonight to get this assignment.
Oh, and what a show it was. I mean, people of all ages were just absolutely dazzled by night 2 of this uniquely Southern California tradition that really never disappoints. Holiday cheer lit up Newport Harbor as hundreds gathered along the sand at Marina Park for Southern California's largest Christmas boat parade.
There's like fire on some of them. Yeah. There was like a whole carousel on one of them.
Boats and yachts decked out in dazzling lights, characters, and special effects cruised by, turning the harbor into a floating winter wonderland.
It's all about lights and holiday season, so we're enjoying. Yeah, they love it actually. They love boats. They love the characters.
For some families, it was
Okay,
a first,
enough of
and
this. I'm not going to
instant
play the
holiday
entire
favorites.
video, but
It was amazing. This is my
it's just an
first time. I've
astonishing
experienced it. I grew
attraction.
up in New York City.
They've been doing it for over 100 years, obviously, and they get people from all over the world, literally.
Yes.
That they'll fly in. That people going to Disneyland or whatever they're doing.
100,000 people? They
Oh,
say?
more than that. They said hundreds, I think, on the video, but I think over the course of the 5 nights, they get 1 million people coming in to the shore and the water watching this parade, and it's good fun because the boats are, some of them are Disney-esque. Speaking of Disney, they're like the Rose Parade. They're like, they're professional floats. This was a boat decked up for this new movie, Wicked, and it was spectacular with flames coming out of the top of it and people swinging on different things. Some of these pictures I took, some of them I grabbed off. But you see this thing up here, and this is the latest thing. You've probably all seen it in your hometowns, but this laser light show, or not a laser, actually those are drones.
Drones, yeah.
Exactly. And they go up and they, with computer control, obviously, are all sorts of different configurations. That's the Christmas tree configuration, but they spell out words and sponsors' names and all manner of stuff.
Yeah.
And the drone displays now up in the sky are just fabulous. This yacht club, do you recognize that club, Julia? You see up here in the upper right corner? Maybe you can see the letters there.
Oh, yes.
That is the Balboa Yacht Club, which won again this year.
Did they?
There's a judging for these boats, which boat is the best and most original, which is the lowest key, smallest boat, best decorated, and which is the biggest professional. I don't know all the categories, but the yacht clubs all decorate and they get judged. And again this year for 7 or 8 of the last 10 years, Balboa Yacht Club seems to win. Brian Marshall, who's our club facilities manager, does a fabulous job, and BYC was the winner again of the Best Yacht Club Award. Sunday morning, we caught up with some super fozy. Speaking of regulars who watch the show, Peter McDonald on the left, super sailor, Finn, big boats, and everything, stars, everything in between. Becky Lenhart, who's the racing director at Balboa Yacht Club and is a superstar in her own right. And Dion Ficker McDonald, the daughter of the late, great Bill Ficker, who won the Cup, the America's Cup 1970, is the skipper and also past Commodore of the Newport Harbor Yacht Club. And Dion is a real mover and shaker, as is Peter. And, of course, Becky is the best. Nice to catch up with them. Mm-hmm. We had some Christmas cards from the Fozy, Julia, a bunch of them. These two of the most colorful one. This one from Pindar, from Andrew Pindar and Co., and then this one from James Pleasance, and this one is actually a video, if you can believe that. Mm-hmm. Nice cards from a lot of the Fozy, and we appreciate each and every one. That from James Pleasance. Yeah. And we, again, wish you all season's greetings, happy holidays.
Indeed.
If you celebrated Hanukkah, we hope you had a great Hanukkah and you're looking forward to a good Christmas and even a Kwanzaa coming up here later in the week, Julia. Mm-hmm. Who else on here? Claire Harrington saying good afternoon. Speaking of Claire, from a very snowy Greenwich, Connecticut. And Fabian Haraldson speaking about Feliz Navidad.
Yes.
Somebody else play that, see what that is for us, please. Hey, all, fun. It's snowing again in Connecticut. Yeah, we saw the pictures from Claire this morning. She sent a couple pictures in. But it's time of year. I don't know what the problem is, Julia. People, it snows in the snowy climes. Lance Burke is on. He's saying, it's Lance 31415. Some St. Francis Yacht Club members were without power for approximately 36 hours.
Yes.
I hope you weren't out that long, Lance, but yeah, it was quite a blackout, and there's a big come to Jesus meeting going on as we speak. I think Julia, the mayor, and
yes,
the gas and electric PG&E gas and electric company.
Yeah,
I would like to wish you all a very happy and Merry Christmas. Be kind to yourself and others at this time of year. Pedro Foiling Sailor, a.k.a. Peter Stevenson. Indeed, Gordon Smith wishing us happy holidays from Denmark, and John Emmett saying today is a good day. It is indeed. J. Frederick Bland, grateful for Fozy fun and camaraderie, aren't we all? James, who's had his health struggles this last 6-8 months, and he seems to be coming through it. We all wish him.
Oh, that's
and
great.
Anyone else who's lost this, some of our super Fozy have lost parents.
Yes.
In the last couple of weeks.
Quite a few.
It's just a tough time of the year to lose anybody. Yeah. But Warren Schasser, 2 days until the Sydney to Hobart. Bring it on. Ted Ryman in Cape Town. Hello, Ted. Hope you're having a warm and beautiful Southern Hemisphere holiday down there. And on and on and on and on. Greetings from Calgary. There's Alan McGarry. Alan's the past, I don't know if he's a past Commodore of Royal Canadian Yacht Club, but remember, we've had him on the show a couple times talking about the Canada's Cup.
Yes.
And he was a superb chairman, co-chairman of that event. And that is, he's just another, this show attracts people like him, like the Alistair Murrays and the Andrew Pindars and the Andrew McUrbans, and all these people who are just, Claire Harrington, who are just mega contributors to our beloved sport. They're spark plugs, they work hard. J. Frederick Bland's another one. And of course, he's talking about, the horror, Texas will win. Do you know who Texas is playing in their bowl game? The Citrus Bowl?
No.
They're playing the University of Michigan.
Uh-oh.
And we'll see who wins, J. Frederick Bland. Clayton Embley, daughters tend to understand that they can take any of their dad's property. Well, repercussions. Well, she did. And the fact she liked Claire's hat, and I'm grateful to Claire for sending another way. Clayton Embley's making a political joke. Wait, San Francisco went red?
Oh, no. Can't ever tell. Yeah.
Yarvaez in a nice part of the world. Becwa, and what else? John Emmons on BA11. It sounds like he's now headed somewhere. Maybe he's headed to Australia already.
I think they are, aren't they?
Yeah. Lance Burke, who's a techno nerd and a very smart guy, saying those Waymos have radar, LiDAR, and cameras, and obviously some pretty special software. Way more than they are worth, Ed Worley says. Have you ridden? You haven't ridden in one of those, right?
No, I haven't.
I finally downloaded the app.
Yes.
So next time I should, because everybody that comes to town takes one.
Sure.
Just so they can go home and tell their friends, I rode in one of those autonomous cars.
Right. Yes.
David James, a study by Swiss Re, the reinsurance giant, showed that Waymos generated 88% fewer property damage claims and 92% fewer bodily injury claims than the average human during 25 million miles of driving.
I'm sure that's probably true.
Yarvahe saying drone shows are astounding. They are, especially the ones we saw down there. Boy, they were good. They've come a long way. John Emmett agrees, and Alan Longs agrees about daughters. Meg, if you're watching, you can have anything you want. Whatever I have is yours, especially now that you hatch a kid here in May, and I'll be a grandpa, and I'll never be happier. Looking forward to the coming DJI products. Yes. That's Dogzilla Monster up in Seattle. Nice to see him on. I still I've not used his real name. Stingray in the Witness Protection Program.
Right.
The Sailing Anarchy Witness Protection Program. Julia, what are we celebrating today? One of three things.
Well.
What's that?
We're thinking about the equator. I mean, the solstice.
Exactly. Earth during the December solstice, which happened a couple days ago. And man, oh man, I don't know about you, Julia, but I cannot wait for the days to start feeling longer. Okay, we know they're starting to get a little longer here. And for those of you down in the Southern Hemisphere, I'm sorry that yours are getting shorter, but
it makes such a difference. I know. Between
blackouts and all this rain of late and the cold, foggy December we had, I'm ready for some sunshine.
Yes.
Sunshine. What else are we celebrating this week? Of course, it's Christmas week with Christmas on Thursday, so that's our second celebration today, Julia. But most importantly, and we're going to preview it extensively, as several of you mentioned, the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race Week, my favorite week of the year, maybe my favorite race of the year of any race, big boats or small.
Really?
I love Governor's Cup down at Balboa Yacht Club.
Yep.
I really like the Fastnet race and following that. I like the Middle Sea race over in the eastern end of the Med. And the Bermuda race, of course, is classic. Being in Newport, Rhode Island for Bermuda race. There's some other great events in our beloved sport, but this one is fun. And we've been covering this for years. We'll cover the start again on Christmas night, which is, I'm right, it's Thursday night, right?
Yes.
Thursday night. This is Tuesday. It better be Thursday night.
It's the 23rd.
Days are getting longer around here. Merry Christmas and happy Sydney to Hobart, everyone. Yeah, John Collins, exactly right.
Yes.
Okay, let's do a couple Bravo Zulus before we get into the Sydney Hobart. And these are events we've been covering as well on the show in the last few weeks. And probably the biggest one is the Youth Worlds, which was in Vila Moura in Portugal the 13th through the 20th of December. We told you last week it's for more than a half a century, the Youth Sailing World Championships have been the pinnacle of youth sailing performance, providing the global stage for future sailing stars to shine and become a major stepping stone for many world and Olympic champions. The Youth Sailing Worlds attracts the best youth sailors from around the world and follows a similar format to Olympic sailing, where all sailors compete on a level playing field across all events. In total, 11 events were sailed in male, female, and mixed categories, with the events open to sailors aged above the age of 12 and under the age of 19 on the last day of the year in which the championship takes place. Mm-hmm. And it was a big event and a successful event by all accounts. 400 sailors from 70 nations, 6 classes, and the aforementioned 11 divisions or events in the ILCA 6, 420, 29er, NACRA 15, IQ foil, Formula Kite, but then they had the subdivisions in those classes. For the various divisions, you'd have a male and a female and so on. Oh, cool stuff. And a great event. Here is the wrap-up video from World Sailing.
Good morning. Welcome to the last day of the Youth World Championship. Today, we have a lot of things to decide.
Today we start with a rainy morning, but we are expecting a very good offshore wind with 15 to 20 knots.
Let's see who will be the 2025 Youth World Champions.
The final day of the Youth Sailing World Championships delivered a dramatic finish. After a rain-delayed start caused by an early cold front, steady 12 to 14 knots northerlies set the scene for a spectacular finale. In the ILCA 6 men, the title went down to the wire, with American David Coates holding his nerve to win gold. Czech sailor Jiří Tomes claimed silver despite a BFD in the final race, while Emilios Boeros from Cyprus completed the podium with bronze.
You know, obviously I crossed the line, but I didn't know if I was over, so I was a little bit like, oh, let me first see with my coach, I didn't want silver too early. And then immediately I just see him smiling from a distance, and I already knew that I won, and, he tossed me a flag, and I was just so happy.
The 420 male mixed fleet saw Ukraine's Sviatoslav Madonic and Dmitro Karabadzak dominate the final day to secure gold. Israel's Ziv Stub and Loya Scheffler took silver, and New Zealand's Cameron Brown and Oliver Stone claimed bronze after an incredible last race.
It feels amazing. Today, after first race, was super tough, but we stay together, we speak. Next races, we give our best, we give it all. And we did a good job, and we're super happy. We've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
In the ILCA 6 women, Spain's Irene de Tomas sailed smartly to win gold and the Youth World title. Poland's Hanna Rogowska earned silver, with Germany's Mirja Dole taking bronze.
Wow, it looked amazing. I have no words for describing. First of all, my tears came out. So it's pretty undescribable feeling.
Formula Kite delivered commanding performances. China's Sophia Li won every race to claim women's gold, followed by Emma Rennie of Great Britain and Poland's Karolina Jonkowska.
Yeah, at the moment it still feels a little surreal, but I'm very proud and happy.
In the men's fleet, Jan Strajoti matched that perfection with gold, ahead of New Zealand's Toby Wigglesworth and France's Nel de Jam.
Super happy. There's no better way I can finish this regatta. It's my last U19 regatta. We did 9 races and I could win every single race. So no better way to finish. Super happy, yeah.
The IQ foil titles went down to Italy's Medea Falcioni in the women's fleet, with Taisia Stopchenko silver and Nurhayat Guven of Turkey bronze.
So the week was great, and managing to win every race just makes me really happy and proud. And of course, I'm looking forward to the future.
The men's, Israel's Peleg Rajwan took gold, Italy's Mattia Sauncella silver.
Super happy. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, and I'm super happy to become world champion here in Villamora.
In the NACRA 15, Italian world champions Lorenzo Sirena and Alice Dessi secured gold. The French team of Marius Pro and Émilie Mansouri took silver, and the American team of Dylan Tomko and Casey Small earned the bronze.
I mean, we couldn't have wanted more than this, so we came here for this, and we are really happy to achieve this goal.
The 29er women's title went to Britain's Lila Edwards and Amelie Hiscox, ahead of Poland's Antonina Puchowska and Alicia Damk in second, and Argentina's Carolina Barceló and Agustina Arguelles in third.
So unbelievably amazing. Like, we've worked so hard, and I'm so glad it's paid off. It doesn't feel very real yet. It's still sinking in.
In the 29er male mixed, Poland's Simon Kolka and Bartosz Mundiski claimed gold, while France's Nolan Vettezanet and Titouan Gresset, silver. Brazil's Zion Faria and Joao Joppert won bronze.
I mean, it feels amazing. Like, we just had got 2 races, different conditions, and like we just wanted to do our stuff, cold head, and just going through the races as good as we possibly can. And we did it, and we were so happy.
Finally, in the 420 female fleet, Britain's Sabine Potter and Merlin Newland took gold. France's Amy Combet and Juliette Payet won silver, and New Zealand's Tessa Clinton and Amelia Higson secured bronze.
I just don't even have the words, to be honest. We've just been crying and like, I just can't believe it.
Yeah, it's unreal, really. Going into this, we never thought this was possible for us. But yeah, it's an amazing achievement, but I can't say the words as well. I'm so happy.
And with that, the 2025 Youth Sailing World Championships come to a close. Celebrating new champions, unforgettable racing, and the future of our sport.
A really nice wrap-up video.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish they had gotten the lighting on the kids' faces. Did you notice how dark when they had that bright background when they were on a podium or they were on the something? Yep. Hey, gang, when you're doing this kind of stuff, amateur, professional, or otherwise, here's the order of importance. Audio, number one. As John Emmett will tell you, as anyone will tell you, audio. Get the audio right. Get some good mics, get some little mics. Then get the lighting right, because you can have the world's best camera, and if the lighting is bad,
yes,
it's crotonic.
Yes,
get the lighting right, and then worry about the camera and the camera work. So that's a little tip here from Tom. Tom's tip. I agree with Ted Ryan. Such a nice event. Bravo, Zulu, Villamora, and those kids, I'm sure, are going to have memories for the rest of their lives.
I'm sure they are. And what a thrill.
Exactly. The Brits did well. The Italians did well. And the Americans, we've been on and up and down in this event. But Bravo Zulu, I've got to mention David Coates. I don't know him or his family, but from Florida or Miami. Bravo Zulu David. Apparently it was a hard, tough-fought event in the ILCA 6. And he came home with the gold. He said, talk about a humble kid. From the beginning of last year, it's been my goal to be at this event. And to win it feels amazing. I was sailing back in, and I just started crying. I felt so emotional, said Coates. I really wanted to prove America has a place on the podium, especially in ILCA 6. To show we have a place here is such a great feeling as I look at the St. Lawrence Trophy, which is the original perpetual for the single-handed. Seeing this event used to only be single-handed and double-handed. Back when I was on the youth committee at World Sailing, or IYRU, we had 2 events. We had a single-handed, which was in typically lasers, and a double-handed, which was in laser 2 or 420 or whatever.
Yeah.
And now, as you see, this is
they're 11.
Quite an event.
Yeah.
Seeing all these legends on that trophy that have won before me, and it's insane that my name will go there alongside them.
Yes.
So bravo, Zulu. Nice to have that sentiment from anybody, let alone an American who's on the podium for the gold. But look at this country. They have three-peated. You see the country code in the upper right corner?
Yes.
ITA, Italia. They have won for the third time in a row the Nations Trophy, which is an amalgamation of all the scores in the various divisions. And bravo, Zulu, to them, to Italy. They were far and away the best country across the board.
Terrific.
At the Youth World. So cool stuff. One more bravo, Zulu, while we're at it. We've been covering this for the last couple of weeks, the SSL, Star Sailors League, event number 47, the official event at the Southeast Asian Games. It was the 15th through the 18th in Thailand. And here is the wrap-up video from that.
Minus 10, 9, 8. We have a go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the final day, the golden day of the SSL Gold Cup Asian Qualifiers, the Football World Cup in sailing, where national teams go head-to-head and every decision counts. 7 nations are back on the water, split into 2 groups, each racing twice today, and with double points on the line, there's no room for mistakes. A tight start at race 1 of the day sets the tone, but trouble strikes early for the UAE, forced into a 360-degree turn right after the gun. Oman seized the opportunity, while the UAE fight hard to stay in contention. Downwind, Oman turn up the pressure, stretching their lead as Kazakhstan do just enough to defend second place. Oman crossed the line first, and with that win, they secure their ticket to Rio in 2026. Kazakhstan finished second, with the UAE in third. Race number 2. All boats get away cleanly from the start. UAE win the upwind battle, rounding the weather mark first, with Oman and Kazakhstan close behind. But downwind, it's Oman who strike back. They round the gate in front and take control of the race, holding the lead all the way to the finish. Kazakhstan settle into second, with UAE in third. Oman lead on 24 points. The United Arab Emirates sit second on 13, and Kazakhstan are third with 10 points. Race 1 of Group A. The Philippines explode off the line, taking control from the very start and leading around the windward mark. Behind them, Myanmar run into spinnaker trouble, losing ground early. The Philippines and South Korea stretch away from the rest of the fleet. At the front, the Philippines sail a controlled, confident race, dominating all the way to the finish. South Korea second, Myanmar third, and Vietnam fourth. A tense start to the last race sees the Philippines cross the line early, forced to loop back and restart. That opens the door for Myanmar, who take control on the first upwind leg. But the Philippines respond immediately, charging back into contention and nearly rolling Myanmar at the windward mark. The race tightens even further at the gate, with the Philippines and South Korea locked in a fierce battle, while Myanmar sails smart, staying clear of trouble. Then more drama. South Korea run into technical issues, and moments later the Philippines flirt with disaster, struggling with their front sheet. Somehow, they keep it together, find their rhythm again, and begin to pull away. The Philippines cross the line first, securing their ticket to Rio. Myanmar finished second, South Korea third, and Vietnam fourth. After 6 races in Group A, Philippines are first on 30 points, Myanmar second on 22 points, South Korea third on 18 points, and Vietnam fourth on 9 points. A golden day of racing comes to an unforgettable close, and the road to Rio now has its qualifiers.
Now, how cool is that event?
It is super.
Those boats look great, as Alistair says. I love those gold hulls. Alan Long, awesome. You got countries in big boats. These are 40-footers.
Yeah.
That you would, these countries don't even participate in yacht racing, sailing all that often. Okay, maybe an Optimus, maybe a little bit in lasers, but look at this. They got teams on big boats, sailing them well, having a great time.
Yes.
Why don't we have that boat in the Olympics? Why don't we have that class in the Olympics?
Because the manufacturer isn't well enough known to the committee.
Well, that's exactly. I bet the food was amazing, Clay Embley is saying.
Yes.
Well, I don't know about Yarvahe, about the politics of who's allowed to participate or who's not, but just fabulous stuff. And, those are, I think those are modified RC44s, aren't they? Somebody tell me what they are. But why do we have those classes, those boats in the Olympics? Well, some idea on the bows and sails would make it more interesting, Greg Phillips. Good point, Greg. Yeah, all these things can be improved, but cool stuff. And here are the Philippines. A rising sailing power, I think. They seem to be doing well in more and more events, different kinds of events. They were on top of Group A, so they get their ticket punched through to the big event in Rio a year from now. Philippines, 30 points. Myanmar, 22. South Korea, 18. Vietnam, 9 in that group. Then the other group, which Oman won, as you will have seen on that video, they led the way. They won most of their races, 24 points. 13 points for the UAE. And Kazakhstan, 10 points. So good stuff. Bravo Zulu all around. Lance says, can't be in the Olympics, too many medals. Yeah, well, and Andrew McIrvin says, yes, those are RC44s. And Michelle Niklaus, who is the backer of that and is a friend of Andrew Pindar's, Andrew's saying has a fantastic vision for universality and participation. Yes, modified RC44s. And Andrew confirming, adding there that he, meaning Michel Niklaus, who's a Swiss gentleman, has invested a fortune in backing his beliefs. I mean, Julia, that's just to see those countries racing, level racing in cool-looking boats.
Yes.
Fabulous.
It is.
Fabulous.
No question. No question.
Great stuff. So Bravo Zulu, and Bravo Zulu to this gentleman who is our regular, what do we call him? He's just the regular.
Coaches.
Well, it's the coach's corner to be sure. That's our super fuzzy John Emmett, who's at home in the farm, although I think he's contributor. That's our contributor par excellence, and he is on a plane, apparently, I think, headed to Australia. He's on BA11, headed somewhere. John Emmett from the farm.
Hi, Tom, Julia, and all the Fozy. So, welcome to Imberhorn Farm. I think it's probably been a while. Pretty busy time at the moment, and of course, when there's lots and lots to get done, I always think that many hands make light work. So what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today was about teamwork, because this is something I'm probably very guilty of myself, but well-meaning volunteers, or indeed just people in charge of an organisation, may find it very tempting to do everything themselves. And of course, the problem is, if they get run over by the proverbial bus, everything stops. In fact, even if you have two like-minded people, you're really tapping into people's resources and you don't have that spare capacity. So I'm a big believer in having teams. So maybe you have 4, 5, 6 people, and that makes everything so much more manageable. And also you have different viewpoints, and also you have different experiences and different talents to call upon. So I think that's a very important idea. So next year, one of the things I really want to try and do is keep running the Castle Cove bar. And to do that, we need to clean the pipes every single week. Now, of course, having a team of 6 is much better than having one person who has to do it every single week. And these days, communication is incredibly easy with WhatsApp groups, etc., etc. So you can coordinate your effort and make sure nobody gets too close to burnt out. And with that in mind, for a lot of people, we're going to be celebrating Christmas now. So do take that time to relax, unwind, and be fresh and ready for 2026. In the meantime, sail fast, sail safe, have fun. Try and see you on the
And have fun. Try to see you on the show. I think I cut him off there. Sorry, John. Coaching Corner with John Emmett, and he says he's BA11 is London to Singapore. Steve Gruber knows the flight. And that I think that's the flight John's on. He says, I'm on a plane for the next 3 days. I know he's headed to Australia, where they had a famously good time last year.
Yes.
And Lily's sailing. I think is she sailing in Sydney Hobart? Do you remember, Julia?
Yes, I think she is.
I think she is, too.
I love how she just jumps in and does it.
Well, she's
a very good sailor, but she takes on great new challenges and succeeds.
Indeed. And then further to John's point, which is a superb point, is that by having a team of people helping, especially with volunteer events, you train up people for the future,
right?
Which is something we all need to do.
Yes.
Aside from the points he made about having differing viewpoints and having more hands making light work or lighter work, but you've got to. I mean, one of the reasons to have a team, to have a committee around you as the chair, is to say next year you can say to the Commodore, whoever's in charge, you say, that person's really good. That person's not so good, not so interested or enthusiastic. That person's great. And, used to tell you, right?
Right.
You're the head of the voluntary action. What was the name of that group here?
National Center for Voluntary Action.
You should be giving this lecture, not me.
I gave it lots of times.
Well, give it again on the show here. How to recruit and retain and train volunteers. We better do a segment, Julia. The volunteer segment.
Volunteers are involved in everything. It's hard to believe. In the U.S., there is not an idea or a cause or an organization that doesn't have volunteers.
Well, and I think that's true in most of the Western countries.
Not so much.
The Anglo countries. I mean, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Not so much Spain, where I lived for 10 years, and Germany, a little less so too. But, at the clubs, in our beloved sport,
yes,
you've got people who are volunteering all over the place.
Of course.
In fact, just as we, apropos all of that, just as we were going to air, I got an email from Claire from a lady who was, and I don't remember her name, I'm sorry, Claire, but she was serving as a race officer or principal race officer at the Youth Worlds, I believe.
Oh, good.
And she sent this long report back to, I'm sure, any number of people in the States and beyond about what was particularly good, what was not so good at the Youth Worlds and her experience. And we all learn.
Absolutely.
John has entered in the Australian Laser ILCA Nationals, also in Hobart, in early January. That's Phil Yeomans is saying.
Oh, my.
As Don Lunabos checks in from Sonoma up in wine country.
Yes.
Let's get to our principal segment today, our main set. A little.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I did.
This mic is famously good at rejecting plosives.
You got too close.
Peter picked pickles. That's pretty, I got a little too close.
Yeah.
Too blowy. Got some plosives. Julia, let's get to our main segment here and stop the croutonicisim, and that is about the cup. And I ask you all if this ACP and this new setup and these 5 teams that are announced, is this correct or croutonic? The headline is that 5 teams this was announced yesterday, enter historic America's Cup Alliance to supercharge the future of the sport's oldest trophy, probably pros from our Super Fozy. Magnus the Magnificent Wheatley, Julia. I don't know if it is or not.
Yes.
But it sounds like it. Here's the here's the opening paragraphs in that release from yesterday. The America's Cup Partnership, ACP, today announces the formation of an historic alliance between the founding teams of sailing's pinnacle event. The 5 teams will become the founding partners of the America's Cup Partnership, all of which is contrary to the deed of gift, by the way. This marks a transformative moment in the 174-year history of the competition, creating a unified entity dedicated to the long-term stability and growth of the America's Cup. And really what it's dedicated to is to increasing the commercial viability and the revenues that might be shared among the teams, Julia. The 5 founding teams, Emirates Team New Zealand, from New Zealand, of course, Athena Racing from Great Britain, Luna Rossa from Italia, and a new sponsor for Mr. Ernesto Bertarelli's team, the Tudor, not the Red Bull, but the Tudor Team Alinghi from Suiza, from Switzerland, and K-Challenge from France. No sponsor name associated with that team at this point, have united to create an exciting new future for the world's oldest sporting competition. This follows the protocol agreement between ETNZ as Defender and Athena Racing as Challenger of Record. Now, by the way, the Defender is the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron, And the Challenger of record is the Royal Yacht Squadron, not those teams. Those are the representative teams. So that in itself is also contrary to the deed. But they were announced as such in August of 2025, of course, which set the terms for the LV 38th America's Cup in Naples and paved the way for the America's Cup partnership. And now I will play the video that accompanied the release.
Okay.
Trying to win the America's Cup does end up becoming an obsession.
I really want to win the cup, and it's my nightmare and my dream on the same time.
It's everything a human being can dream of if you're a little bit ambitious in life.
Even if you don't win, you've got to put a huge commitment. It does take over your life, and there'll be nobody in the Cup that won't say that. There's nothing like the America's Cup. It's the oldest sporting trophy in the world. That can never change.
France has never been beyond the semi-finals of the Louis Vuitton Cup, so why don't dream big?
The Olympic Swiss Challenge wins America's Cup 2003. Sailing's biggest prize has a new home, Switzerland. And Lingy has done it! And the America's Cup stays in Europe! Oh, boy, stand by. Prada have got them as they're rolling over the top. That is absolutely magnificent stuff.
For only the second time in their history, Luna Rossa will be the official challenger for the America's Cup.
Fantastico! È bellissimo! È bellissimo!
The America's Cup, before the Americans renamed it, was called the £100 Cup. It's definitely a British Cup.
Ineos Britannia rolls the waves of the Mediterranean. They win the Louis Vuitton Cup and will meet Emirates Team New Zealand.
The America's Cup is now New Zealand's Cup. Team New Zealand retains the heavyweight crown of world sailing.
The trophy belongs to New Zealand. Sailing's most treasured prize stays in New Zealand. And Emirates Team New Zealand win the 37th America's Cup.
The lessons of winning is to make sure that you're brutal enough to try and keep winning.
Come out on the comments. J. Frederick Bland, cheeky. If you don't like the rules, just ignore them and make new rules. I have better things to do. Julia, how'd you like that video?
Oh, it was fine, but I have great questions about what differentiates the America's Cup from any other yacht race.
I mean, does anybody who knows anything about the America's Cup is going to say, gag me with a spoon. As several of you said, they're using old boats that are no longer, because they were so much more exciting than the current boats.
Yeah.
It's so confusing to see Red Bull on the bow of a Lingy, but it's really going to be something else. So they're trying to put something together, anything together to fill this very slow news week.
Yes.
They think they're going to get visibility by releasing this 2 days or 3 days before Christmas. They're nuts. What they're worried about, obviously, is that SailGP releases a video every few days and gets huge number of hits, huge number of views.
Right.
Did you see the mention of the names of any sailors in that?
No.
And if you're trying to make stars, if you're trying to make something cool out of a sport, whether it's football, soccer, whether it's baseball,
it's not
hockey, basketball, you're going to talk about the stars. You
not
didn't
the
see,
corporate sponsors.
Not the corporate sponsors, not the history and traditional. The history and tradition is great, but did you see any names any sailors, current or past, in that? No.
Yep.
I don't know. Gag me with a spoon times 10, Blake Sail. That's Blake Middleton. Maybe American Magic can take over the U.S. Sail GP team. No, I have a one here's on that. I hear they're trying to buy, or maybe have bought. This is Doug DeVos and the Americans. I'm going to say it because I had a source confirm it this morning to me that they're buying the Danish Rockwell Denmark team. Okay, we're getting off topic here.
Yeah.
But as you all know, American Magic, Doug DeVos, New York Yacht Club, have said no to this madness. They're not going to be involved in this next cup in AC38. But they are continuing to show interest in Sail GP.
Yep.
I'm not sure New York Yacht Club's all that interested in Sail GP. They'd love to be involved still in the cup. It's in their
DNA.
Exactly. It's in their DNA. Claire said so on the show in her interview, the Commodore Harrington said the other day. But I think there are a lot of cool American sailors who would love to be on a good team.
Yes.
On a better team than what the team is that's right now. DEN boat is a good one, J. Frederick Bland says. Alan Long says, wow, yeah, that's what I'm hearing, that is, I will do a one here's. I think that could well be happening, and stay tuned, because you often hear things here first. Like we told you about Alinghi coming back into the mix. We told you that. We told you about the new owner of Athena Racing weeks ago, if not months ago, weeks ago. In any event, it's a great video, but it's all clickbait. I have a feeling it's all Blue Fairy madness. It doesn't inspire very many people who come to know and love the Cup. It might inspire some people outside of the Cup who don't know anything about it. But here's what they say this is all about. They say it's converting the Cup, a commitment to a regular fixed racing calendar, biennial cycle of an America's Cup every 2 years, creating a set moment that fans can look forward to, growing the race's global audience and fan base, and allowing teams, sponsors, and broadcasters to plan ahead and invest long term. Okay? It's not what the deed of gift says, Julia. So it's contrary to the deed of gift. And you cannot, they may be able to pull this off for one Cup. For AC38, these teams have come in and agreed to it. But the idea that they're going to bind the winner to all this is complete and utter madness.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going before we get too carried away here. The next one, independent management. An independent, best-in-class management team focused solely on delivering sporting excellence and commercial opportunity for the America's Cup, whilst ensuring consistent operations from one event to the next.
It's a different program.
Economic sustainability, shared revenues, and new cost control measures, creating higher levels of competition and a more level playing field, while also ensuring the America's Cup remains at the forefront of sailing innovation. Future focused, a continued commitment to the Women's and Youth America's Cup, creating accessible and diverse pathways into the sport, including at least one female on board the AC75 race boat at the Louis Vuitton 38th America's Cup. Do you want to hear what Richard Gladwell thinks of all this?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that, and then we'll ask you if you think this is correct or crotonic. Richard and I talk regularly, or we text regularly, sometimes talk. He said, yes, you can run this. He wrote something, frankly, that was pithier than this. And I said, can I run that? He said, well, let me rewrite it a little. He rewrote it. Not much. It was pretty much what he said to me the first time. He says what he means and means what he says. He is a good man, that Richard Gladwell. Quote, their problem, again, is what it doesn't say. When are they going to start racing in AC 40s or 75s? Or are they going to sit and watch Sail GP start what looks to be an exciting Season 6 circuit in 3 weeks off Fremantle? The Sail GP startup happens just a few days after the Sydney-Hobart furor has died down. So AC's window to get fans' attention is quite small, and they can't hope to be taken seriously when all they have to show is the next corporate press release. Or a corporate video, as we just saw.
Yeah.
While their sailors are all racing with Sail GP. How many other sports run like this? I can't think of one. That's Richard Gladwell.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more. Julia, he went on to say, I started asking at the end of October when the entry period closed, quote unquote, it runs now till the end of January, only to be told that A, they wouldn't be releasing numbers, and B, it was up to the teams to make their own announcements. None did, as you just saw.
Yeah.
Then 2 days before Christmas, we get a PR dump saying who the teams are and the number of entries. What about the usual fanfare that used to be part of each team announcing that it was entering, who its sponsors were, who the key crew members are, and putting a bit of pizzazz into the cup? That we now see has no teams, no new teams, no American entry, and reuses the same boats from the 2024 event, question mark.
Whee!
That, of course, is our super Fozy Richard Gladwell from New Zealand / and in blue there is the sail-world.com as a clickable URL. Not that that's going to do any of us any good here. And they promise, by the way, at the end of their press release, they promise that there will be more details on the America's Cup partnership revealed on the 21st of January, which is after the Sail GP event. It'll be they will be revealed in Naples, where the official dates for the America's Cup match will be announced. Entries for the Louis Vuitton 38th America's Cup remain open until January 31, 2026, with additional teams able to join the partnership and the 2027 event. Fat chance.
Well, you never know.
Well, true, you never know, but fat chance, Julia. So I ask you all, is this correct or is it Croutonic? Is this whole setup, which is so contrary, we'll pull that audio down, so contrary to the deed of gift, so contrary to what has always been a simple competition-based event. We're the defender. We're king of the mountain. Any challenger that wants to come, you have a challenger selection series. Run your own challenger selection series. Have a good, modest regatta. The winner will come race us. We'll have a good, modest finals match. And then whoever wins can then take the cup away or keep it and run the next event again in their home waters. Oh, it's not being run in the home waters of the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron.
Yes.
Oh, it's not being run by the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron.
Imagine.
Julia, it's being run. Is this whole thing correct or Croutonic? Lance Burke says, I'm on Team Crouton. Clayton Embley is saying, if it were such a great event, why do they have to extend the deadline? Well, I think they always had that deadline as a kind of a last gasp deadline. David James says, if he had an LV wallet, he does have an LV wallet, but I certainly wouldn't bring it to Naples. Ed Worley, Croutonic in caps, and it's a great team to be on. Blake Middleton is saying, that is Team Croutonic. If it will fail when a compliant challenger turns up, Yarvahe, that's an interesting point, Yar. Croutonic, AC is losing it. Mr. President Emeritus Alistair Murray, President Emeritus of Australian Sailing. Alan Long agrees with Alistair. J. Frederick Bland, one-on-one billionaires duking it out is better than this mess. Steve Atkins says Croutonic. You know, I didn't poll, and of course I bias all of you to some degree.
Yes,
but
you do.
I didn't poll, Julia, the PULL. I didn't poll the comments off the America's Cup Facebook page or some of these other pages about this that had this announcement in over the last couple of days. Because they were all brutally negative.
Oh, they were?
Yes. And you would think that if I were running this thing and trying to force this through or get this, you'd have somebody constantly trying to write positive
Good
comments
stuff, yeah.
and try to lift the tide. A rising tide lifts all boats, as JFK apparently said, maybe somebody. Here's what I think's going to happen. I'll tell you now what I think's going to happen, y'all.
I'm ready.
I think, first, when this first was started to be discussed, you heard ambivalence from the Challenger of Record, from the Royal Yacht Squadron, from Sir Ben Ainslie. You saw Ben get divorced from his backer. That was probably in the works anyway, probably had less to do with this. But they weren't warm and fuzzy about this. You saw New York's Commodore say, well, this maybe is a good idea, but the rest of New York, you didn't see a lot of support from American Magic or from others within New York Yacht Club. And indeed, now you see that they're not at all supportive of it.
Mm.
You had a lukewarm response from the French at best.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of behind-the-scenes angst going on with the French. It's not clear who owns the French team, by the way. You see there's no sponsor involved. Luna Rossa, yeah, they've got an event in their home country. Luna Rossa is going to go up there and try to they're practicing, they're training, they might have a chance finally, a really good chance at winning this.
I still think that's a great place to do it.
But you think Naples is?
Yeah.
Well, not if it blows up. Not if Vesuvius blows up. I have not run any of the videos. There are videos. There's a video or two a day about the warnings, about the evacuations, about the practice evacuations within Naples, Bagnoli, that whole area.
Yeah.
Campi Flegrei. I don't run that stuff because, again, in geologic times, it might happen this afternoon. That is, the whole thing in Naples blows up.
Yeah.
Or it might happen 10,000 years from now, but it's going to happen. Just like we've got this swarm of earthquakes over here in the East Bay under San Ramon?
San Ramon.
San Ramon. And we felt a couple here in the marina just in the last week or so. 3.0, 3.67. I felt 1 or 1.2. I was sitting here, in fact, in the studio. This light started to. so what's that? Maybe I was having a stroke or something. No, we were having a minor quake. But in any event, everybody says, oh, is that the big one? And is that precursor? It might not. It might just be releasing the pressure, and we might not have anything anytime soon.
That's right.
So I'm not going to run about all that. Lance says Campi Flegrei is not going to blow anytime soon. The videos are clickbait. Yeah, so I'm not going to run those videos. I agree. Well, it might blow, Lance. It might blow, as I said this afternoon. That's not the point. Here's what's going to happen. All of this angst over this very complicated, very difficult, completely against the deed of gift. I mean, Hamish Ross and I could sit here and enumerate it for all of you, and we have on past shows, why it's not going to fly, ultimately. And what's going to happen is going to be a disagreement between some of these 5 founding teams, and they're not going to be able to resolve it, and they probably got alternative resolution mechanisms in place that they've signed onto and so on, but somebody will end up in court, and this thing will grind to a halt because it's too complicated, it's too contrary to the present deed of gift. And as John Marshall said on this show a few weeks ago, the deed of gift is a will. It's a will and last will and testament of some guys that won the thing, deeded it for perpetual competition, friendly competition between foreign countries. You can't change that deed. That deed is unchangeable unless you do go to court and you say it's no longer practicable to do this, that, or the other thing which is spelled out in the deed, such as the Southern Hemisphere Amendment, which made it practicable because they never anticipated that a club in the Southern Hemisphere would win it. They thought the Brits would win it, or the Canadians, the Americans in the early days. That was the only ones that were participating in it. So, Julia, they made an amendment, the Southern Hemisphere Amendment. They made an amendment so boats didn't have to sail over on their own bottoms to the venue because that was no longer practicable either. But other than that, obviously the deed of gift works. The cup works. It's been going on for 174 years, and it just happened in just a couple of years ago. No problem. No problema. Legal documents are so inconvenient, J. Frederick Bland to say. So they're trying to make it into FIFA. They're trying to make it into SailGP. It ain't going to happen. And the way I think it will come apart, is that there will be a major disagreement among all these players, or some of the players, and somebody will go to court and say, sorry, this is, I'm not on. We're not on with this. It's Crutonic, as most of you seem to think, and thanks to Jody, Baby Shark Shields, who's in Vancouver, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah, he's up in Vancouver. Now, but wait, there's more, because we had this announcement from Sir Ben and his team. Athena Racing announces what we told you weeks ago was happening, that Oakley Capital, Peter Dubins, had bought the team. And indeed, that's what's happened. Oakley Capital's majority investment, they now are the majority shareholder in Athena Racing, establishes a new ownership structure for Athena Racing, Sir Ben's team, ostensibly his team, was his team, and brings their deep experience in scaling global businesses, proven expertise in high-performance sports, and a strong track record of empowering ambitious management teams with the tools, capital, and strategic support required to perform at the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
If that isn't a bunch of ChatGPT gobbledygook, Julie, I don't know what is. As part of the team's updated structure, Sir Ben Ainslie will focus on governance, wonderful, commercial development, while continuing to support the performance program.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure those were carefully chosen words. He is joined, well, he's been superseded by Ian Walker, recently announced as Chief Executive Officer of this team, Athena Racing. In the design room, Nick Holroyd has re-signed as head of design. These appointments reflect Athena's commitment to building a world-class sporting and technical organization capable of winning the Cup. So no surprises there. Oakley and Athena Racing were at the forefront of the ACP negotiations, as they were DBA, doing business as the Challenger Record, recognizing early on that the partnership model would significantly enhance the commercial appeal and long-term stability of the America's Cup. Well, we'll see about that.
The America's Cup wasn't built to promote commercial appeal.
Exactly right. It was about challenging for a silver mug.
Yep.
Put your team together, come over and challenge. It was not to build it into an IOC or a FIFA or an NHL, NBA, tell me what.
Yeah.
Peter Dubins, co-founder and managing partner, Oakley Capital, said, quote, "The America's Cup is the pinnacle of sailing and an icon of sport, won by only 4 nations since 1851. We're partnering with Sir Ben and the Athena team precisely as the Cup enters a new era with strong governance and a neutral management team focused on audience and media growth. The competition is set to broaden its appeal, improve accessibility, and ensure long-term sustainability." Do that with your eyebrows again. You just did a big... Julia, I looked over at you. I didn't have you on camera. So, my goodness. The Cup, the deed of gift is not broken. The challenges TNZ, Grant Dalton, RNZYS has so alienated New Zealand and supporters they have nowhere to go but to sell the Cup and the venue and things they don't own, like the Challenger Selection Series.
Mm-hmm.
Good point, Ed Worley. Yarvahe, Ben is now an employee, not as a sailor. Yes. Andrew McIrvin, you have lots of amendments to the U.S. Constitution of which no one takes any notice. Good point, Andrew McIrvin. Mm-hmm. It all comes down to jurisdiction, David James says. No court other than New York can bind parties. Good point, David James, who himself is a lawyer and knows a lot about deeds and trust, doesn't he, Julia?
Yes, he does.
Doesn't he, Julia? Okay. I'm just taking excerpts from their release, but the key points. Oakley will support Athena Racing by accelerating commercial partnerships, expanding brand visibility, and scaling operations. What does that mean, scaling operations?
Make them bigger and better.
I guess. With a new team structure, world-class leadership, Oakley Capital's strategic investment, and the launch of the ACP, Athena Racing is entering a new era. On the water, the team is now preparing for winter training camp, resuming development with AC40 monohulls ahead of the next America's Cup in Naples 2027. Andrew McIrvin sent me a note this morning. He said, according to the London Times, quote, "The British team will get a rebrand, and the boat they used to challenge New Zealand last year is already in transit from Barcelona to Naples, where it will undergo modifications." So assuming Andrew is correct, and he usually is, if not always, he usually is correct, then that means they've gotten the boat out of hock, or they've gotten it out of the hands of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and it's being moved from Barcelona to Naples for modifications for the next Cup, which is, I mean, the next Cup is in a year's time. Bloody hell.
I at moments like this take Elon Musk's opinion of schedules.
Which is?
Everything like that you can do a lot faster.
Well, exactly. So that's the latest on Athena Racing. And I thank you, Andrew McIrvin, for that tip from the Times of London this morning, I guess. That's when that came from. And then there's this gentleman, Chris Poole, USA's ostensible entry. He'd like to enter. He's been kind of a one-man band, chief cook and bottle washer, doing PR and going around trying to sign up sponsors and telling people that he will be there, that his team, Riptide Racing, will be the American entry for the next Cup. And he's saying the reason he delayed is because when it was announced that American Magic were out, we made the commitment to give it a shot. We were on. That's Chris Poole, Riptide Racing. And he sent out now on his Facebook page and otherwise a mock-up of an AC35 in Riptide Racing's livery.
Yes.
Looks a little bit like our livery from America One, doesn't it, Julia?
Say, yes.
You have scarves and hats and shirts.
Right.
In that green and black livery, the America One. Chartreuse. And Chris says on Facebook post today, why is Riptide Racing aiming to take part in the 38th America's Cup, ? This is something our team has always dreamed of doing, and we don't want to see the United States lose its 175-year attendance record in the America's Cup. Our plan is to launch a community-driven challenge with support from across the country, not just one region, through nationwide programs with yacht clubs and community sailing centers. We aim to create pathways to Grand Prix level racing, including the Cup, for both women and youth sailors. Follow along and join our efforts to see the United States represented, doesn't say anything about winning, but to be represented in the oldest trophy in international sport. And here is another page that I saw, I guess on Facebook, I'm not sure where, but he has our Super Fozy Andrew Pindar and his company, Pindar, by Manuport Logistics, listed, and that was announced last week as one of the supporters of Riptide Racing, whether or not they're in the Cup, I suppose. And then I see in the last couple of days, Harkin has become the official fitting supplier to Riptide Racing. And look, I don't know Scott very well. I'm trying to remember if we've had him on the show. I think we have had him on the show. He's a brilliant match racer in big, heavy, slow monohulls, and I admire his enthusiasm. But to try to do a community-based effort to challenge for the Cup through Sewanaka Corinthian Yacht Club or any yacht club ain't going to fly. You got to have a Peter Dubins. You got to have an Ernesto Bertarelli. You got to have a Larry Ellison. You got to have a Doug DeVos. You got to have a Patrizio Bertali, which is why, and you don't have a same name for somebody in France. Mrs. Oriol? What was her name? Betancourt. She seems to have gone away for the moment. But if you don't have a rich dude or dudette, is that the right word? Dudette? Huh? A dudette?
I hope not.
A rich gentleman or lady or both backing you to get one of these efforts off the ground, to rely on an America's Cup partnership or grassroots fundraising from across yacht clubs and community sailing centers.
To conclude in time for a race.
To conclude in time to hire people to design a boat and build a boat, let alone race.
Right.
That's exactly right. And I've been in that game. I mean, I raised $16 million when I was executive director of America 2 for the 87 campaign. $16 million.
That was huge.
We thought that, exactly. We thought that was and it was a huge sum. The budgets had gone from $4 million.
From one to
in 83
to
$4. 16 million. They quadrupled.
16,
And how are we going to raise that money? Well, that was not because I had the best broad-based program.
Yeah.
We had 33 yacht clubs across the country. I went to all those yacht clubs at least once, some of them 3 times,
Yeah.
to try to raise money, and we did. But that was only $16 million. And again, most of it came in the form of $100,000 or $150,000 or more from heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And that's the way this. Beat Trey Raffles, Dolly DeVola says. Yes, Chris is a superb match racer, but will he avoid being another Taylor Canfield? I don't know. I hope not. I admire, as I said, his enthusiasm, and I frankly hope he gets there, but I don't think he has a snowball's chance in hell. We'll see. I think, and it's not his fault. It's because the America's Cup is screwed up too, as the late great Commodore Harry Anderson of both Sewanee Corinthian Yacht Club and New York Yacht Club would have said. It's screwed up beyond a fare thee well.
A fare thee well, yes.
You knew Harry well.
Yes.
Andrew Pindar, the green I know is pretty lucky on boats as much as I have seen of Andy's career. He's talking about Andy Green, I suppose. Indeed. Julia, what happened on this day in history? And do you think this all ties together? In 1690. This may actually have some relevance to the topic we've just been discussing.
1690.
I see if Blake's been Googling. We'll see if David James has been Googling. They probably figured out which of the possible things I grabbed onto that happened on the 23rd of December, 1690. His Dawkins Hill Stingray up in Seattle said, I'm sure our good friend Andrew Pindar will cover the whole Riptide thing. Well, bless his heart for stepping up and trying to help the guy. I mean, I don't blame him one bit. I'm glad he is. Julia, what happened on this day in 1690? You want a clue?
Yep.
Okay, there's your first clue.
It's not an egg.
Huh?
It's not an egg.
It's not an egg. It's a planet. Do you know which one looks like that? They only figured that out fairly recently when, what was it, Voyager 2 flew past it.
It's not Mars.
No, not Mars. See if anybody in the chat knows it. Any of the Fozy know it. And then I'll ask you to pronounce the name. You ready? There you are.
Uranus.
Uranus. Neptune, no. J. Frederick Bland, good guess, though. One of the gas giants.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Ryman, Tom Fishbeck. Julia, I had some fun putting this together last night. 1986, Uranus's true color was captured by Voyager 2, and it's bluish like that, apparently. And there is a sailing, a very tangential, very weak sailing connection.
Yes.
Uranus is newsworthy. Uranus, so the first time Uranus appeared in a U.S. newspaper, at least one that has been digitized by the Library of Congress, comes in 1838, when the New York Morning Herald listed a ship by that name in its September 24th edition.
Mm-hmm.
J. Frederick Bland. You want to read his comment or shall I?
Bend over and you can see.
That when we were growing up, we were told the name of the planet was Uranus. And then people said, oh, we can't call it that. And apparently too many junior high school teachers.
Right.
So I said, I can't, all the jokes will come out. So
Yeah.
you got to change it to Uranus.
Yes.
Okay. So this guy, so if you needed another clue, and some of them have got, it looks bleached. Oh, Dolly DeVola. Did you see? It looks like Uranus is bleached.
Oh.
I knew this was going to be fun. It's the end of the year. We're almost to 900 shows. Astronomer John Flamsteed is your next clue. A great, apparently a fabulous astronomer who lived from 1646 to 1719.
Long time.
He was, in 1675, made the King's Astronomical Observator, and with this became the first astronomer royal.
Oh, good.
In this role, he laid the foundation for the internationally renowned Royal Greenwich Observatory. So he was a bit of a deal.
Yes.
He is best known for preparing the Catalogus Britannicus, which cataloged fully 3,000 stars. and for his star atlas, the Atlas Coelestic. Is that how you say that?
I don't know.
He was also the first to observe Uranus, which he mistook for a star.
Yes, I still have a hard time distinguishing.
Flamsteed fails to recognize Uranus. That's what happened on this day in history, in the 23rd December, 1690. He observed Uranus without realizing it was undiscovered an undiscovered planet.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew McIrvin says, we're members of the Flamsteed Society in Greenwich.
Well, good.
Good. Now, wait, Julia. There's more. You want to see this? There is a place in Missouri, here in the States,
yes,
called Uranus. Uranus, Missouri. I'm not kidding. And they have a general store that is rather famous.
So what makes the Fudge Factory so special is it is Uranus Fudge Factory. Everybody is intrigued by that name. And they're so curious when they walk through that door. They're not sure of what to expect. And when we greet them with, "Welcome to Uranus! Welcome to Uranus! Welcome to Uranus!" They laugh, the giggles, and the energy that comes from them is what we feed off of. So then we know just how much we can play with our customers. My name is Tina Elliott. I'm the general manager. It is my duty to make sure that fudge is packed properly. I am very proud to say that I teach all my fudge packers everything that I know. We get people from all over the world. We're not just a stop, we are a destination now.
Thank you for making Uranus.
We love this place. It's the heart of Uranus.
We are such a bunch of
that's children.
Children, huh?
Yes.
Worse than that. Thanks for picking Uranus.
God.
We have a guest here in the studio, Mario Schumann. Nice to see you, Mario. Has just joined us. Turn around and look at that camera up there so we can get a shot of your face. There you are. And Mario's just walked in. He's a dear
Merry Christmas to everyone.
He's a dear friend from St. Francis. He got his St. Francis regalia on in Inverness. Mario, you just joined us. There is a town in Missouri called Uranus, named after the planet, and the Uranus Fudge Factory.
Is it nearby Moscow Mills?
I don't know. Julia?
Sir?
Forgive me for doing that.
Yeah, maybe.
Fudge, because they're packing. The fudge packet. Okay.
Now, onward.
Onward and upward, okay?
Yep.
Okay. Let's get to our preview of this fabulous event, which starts on Boxing Day Down Under and our Christmas night. And here's the video.
The Rolex Sydney to Hobart Yacht Race overall winner is like nothing else, and it puts you into an elite level of sporting company as well. It's the race that stops the nation.
To have a chance, we have to do everything right.
Where's it won and lost? Probably before the start line.
It's certainly never over till you get across the finish line in this race. It does have something very special about it. It does draw lots of us back each year. You're in the record books as a winner. That's a fantastic feeling.
The Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race, arguably the most celebrated offshore challenge in the world. Organised by the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia since 1945, partnered by Rolex since 2002, the legendary race celebrates its 80th edition and anniversary in 2025. Every year in late December, sailors from across the globe are drawn to an event where participation alone is seen as a major accomplishment. The 628 nautical mile course commences spectacularly in Sydney Harbour, under the watching gaze of thousands of spectators, continues with an arduous leg south across the infamous Bass Strait and Storm Bay, and finally up the Derwent River to the finish off Hobart, Tasmania. The 2025 fleet will be one of the largest this century, comprising over 140 entries. The race to finish first is expected to be fierce, with 5 100-foot maxes taking to the start line, including Law Connect, the winner of the last 2 line honours, Master Lock Comanche, and Palm Beach 11, formerly Wild Oats 11. For decades, this remarkable contest has forged sailors, inspired generations, and embodied enduring values of perseverance and respect as crews face an often relentless battle against the elements. A showcase for resilience, personal achievement, and team spirit, attributes that remain as timely today as 80 years ago.
The 80th Rolex Sydney to Hobart Yacht Race will be something special. It's the iconic sporting event of the day.
The Great Race South commences December 26th.
What a race. What a race. Starting on December 26th on Boxing Day, as you all know, and we will be covering it live, at least the start, and a watch party here on our Christmas night, the 25th, starting at 5:30 Pacific time, which is the middle of your night in Europe. But we'll be covering that live, and it's a fabulous event. As you all know, we've been doing this for years, the Rolex Sydney Hobart 2 yacht race. Big article in the New York Times. In fact, several articles have been, Julia, something like 3 or 4 articles in The Athletic, which is also part now of the New York Times. And Andy Rice has been writing terrific stuff. Sydney Hobart Yacht Race, the danger, the prestige, and the reason sailors give up Christmas is just one of those articles. And there's another one today about families participating in, this is the 80th edition in this fabulous event. So I commend it all to you. Have a look. If you are a New York Times subscriber, or if you can get it online because it's behind a paywall. But The Athletic with Andy Rice writing, they're just doing great stuff. I have a handful of interviews from Crosby Lorimer, Bow Caddy Media, and here is the first one with Christian Beck of Law Connect, the winner of the last 2 and arguably the odds-on favorite for this year's Sydney to Hobart yacht race.
How many is this? 6?
This will be 8.
8. Wow, that's quite a record. And 2 very good wins in the last 2 years, and going for a trifecta, but quite a challenge as well this year.
Yeah, like last 2 years were incredible, and we feel lucky, and the crew did a great job. It's tougher this year for sure.
And different competition as well, because we've got Palm Beach coming back in, and we've got Scallywag as well, so it's really going to make it hard yards. Same crew, same setup?
Almost the same. It's all the key people. We had, I think, 1 change, but our crew's been so good that the last thing we'll do is change that.
And how many more of these years do you think you'll be doing? It's the boat's getting on a bit, but it's still performing really well.
Yeah, look, my plan's always been to keep sailing it till it becomes obsolete. It's a little bit hard to predict how long that is. You got foiling coming in and all that, but not really in these 100-footers. So I don't know, but as long as I can, basically.
And you're obviously going to be keen to get first out the heads.
Yes.
That apparently was what drew your wife and some interest in. Is that right?
Oh, look, it helped. Yes. But yeah, we always try to go first at the heads. And in the early years, we're super focused because that's really the only chance we had of any kind of glory, you could say. But obviously in later years, we've got a bit broader with that. So, but we still love coming first at the heads, and it's still a pretty big focus for us.
You're always very modest about what you contribute to this, and you often say that you think the boat would go faster without you, but you go on the boat. Tell us a bit about what you're doing during the day. What are you helping out with?
Very little, to be honest. I mean, to be honest, normally what I do is I'm the first guy to go to sleep, and that sounds bad. But the reason often is that the hard bit on a boat like that is when it's in the middle of the night and everyone wants to go to sleep. No one wants to go to sleep, we just left the heads. But I'll tend to go to bed a couple of hours after going to sleep. And the reason for that is that then I can be up later, give other people bunks and things like that. So it's that kind of thing. But I do a little bit of cleaning up water, and I do some media stuff. But I really find, honestly, it's no joke, it does go better if I do less, because what tends to happen, a guy like me can be very distracting. And I think a lot of our competitors, where they've gone wrong is actually to make it worse for the crew. Like, honestly, a good sort of owner probably does nothing. A bad owner tries to have a go and impacts the performance, which is sort of why we've won in the past, I think.
Yeah,
You know?
that's very discerning as well. And you talked about media and so on. Are you live streaming again this year?
Yes, we are.
Good.
Yeah.
And then who does all that for you?
Well, actually, this year it's my wife. So
Okay.
she's pretty good with that stuff. So.
Well, all the best for the race. It's going to be fantastic having all the boats. And the most important thing is at least get out through the heads first.
Thank you. We'll try.
Thanks
Thank you very
much,
much.
Christian.
What do you think, Julia? Are they going to win again? A three-peat for Law Connect?
Maybe.
I see in the chat from Dolly DeVola saying it's looking like a fresh, reaching start. It will be spectacular. My kind of race. Okay, we'll see. Now, this next video from Bowcaddy Media is Mark Richards, the captain and now owner of what used to be Wild Oats 11, is now Palm Beach 11, and they're doing major modifications. I have some people, some friends saying they don't think this boat's going to get out of the harbor because they've done so many mods to it, several of which are untested. Our good friend Stan Honey is down there on the boat, part of putting these new foils in.
Yeah.
But have a look at this video, this interview with Mark Richards, and it's what is now Palm Beach 11.
Yeah, I just saw that.
We're with Mark Richards with the fabulous Palm Beach 11 behind us here in the water finally. Well done, Rico.
Finally, that's right. Yeah, no, look, it's been a massive push. You know, we took on the impossible and we're almost going to achieve the impossible, right, with as far as the boat building side of it goes. And it's been a superhuman effort by a lot of people. In McConaughey boats, and I mean, there's so many people here. I can't even mention names, mate, because there's so many people involved. From a design, engineering, and construction perspective, it's been a massive effort by a lot of people. And but we're here, and we've got a few bit of tweaking to do here. We're hoping to get out today, but that hasn't happened. We've just got to stay committed to getting the boat 100% ready, and we'll be out there tomorrow. So we're pretty excited.
Let's talk a little bit about all of the changes to the boat. They're pretty wild.
Yeah, they are wild.
Things on the back and new curves and there's foils and everything. So I talked to you back in 2014 before you did the sort of major surgery on the job. And I remember at the time the boards were a bit of a menace for you, you know, central lateral resistance sort of moving all over the shop, lee helm and everything else. So the boards are different?
Yeah, so we've got new upwind dagger boards. And look, to be fair to the boat's never had good foils upwind, ever, in the whole history of the boat. So it's been a real thorn in my side, especially as a driver, right, to have a boat that's not going that well upwind. There's nothing better than a boat that goes well upwind, right? And this hasn't been one of those boats. And I believe, really feel very confident with the changes we've made. The upwind dagger boards will be amazing. Bigger, more aggressive, plenty of grip. And the new keel and bulb will also help that as well. So
that's longer? Yeah. And what, a lighter bulb?
Effectively the same riding moment with less weight. That's been the whole thing.
And then the C-foils, which are a really dramatic piece.
Yeah.
So they're giving you lift.
Yeah,
and,
it's all about lift and riding moment.
So you're getting less displacement.
Less displacement, less drag, and more riding moment. Right, significant riding moment without adding weight. It's quite a big deal.
So they're all off the breeze.
Cracked. 16 knots at above a boat speed. Foils will be out.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then does that also help you get even deeper VMG and things? Or?
Yeah. Oh, look, it's we've got a very steep learning curve about to happen in the next week, right? But it's look. The exciting thing about what we've done on paper, we're not there yet, right? But we haven't just improved our weaknesses. We've also improved our strengths. So VMG running, light air sailing all around the clock sort of thing. It's I think the boat's going to be very impressive in what our strong areas. Then obviously reaching and it's going to be a huge improvement for us if it works.
Which you need to be in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. Really we just Comanche's is so much faster than us, and Law Connect. So I think we're going to bridge that gap massively. And with a bit of luck, we might even leapfrog them. So we'll see what happens.
Just a couple of things on that then. What's that mean for the sails? What, shallower sails now as well?
Smaller, flatter sails basically.
Right. Okay.
And
just tell us what's that for? You've got too much.
Apparent wind, right? So your apparent wind comes forward. And and you're going faster, so it's all those things. So you need flatter and smaller sails, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing project with North Sails, Southern Spar, just all the
and 1K wandering
around. And 1K, but all the different areas of the boat, mast, sails, and boat, obviously working together to see what's going to happen. And when they all align together, which they have throughout the whole project, it's a very good sign that you're probably on the right track, right? So that's pretty exciting for us.
Yeah. One last thing, the foils at the back there, are they to keep the stern up? You've got bow up on the
No,
seafoils,
look, they're just for dynamic stability, right? 4.5 pitch stability, basically.
Right, okay.
So, you see the Mocha boats all sort of going all over the ocean, whereas this will be very dialed in, right? And that's the whole concept, is to keep it, nice and level and smooth, and average speed higher. That's the whole thing there. So.
And how much would it reduce the displacement once you've got max foils working for you, the seafoils? Does it get you really substantially up?
I mean, look, once this thing's fully dialed in and going well, I mean, there's every chance there might be light under the hull, right? So that's the whole goal, to actually depart the ocean.
Yeah.
But look, we'll see what happens there. I mean, there's a long way to go there. We've got a lot to learn. Got a lot of guys, a lot of us have been falling for many years, so absolutely. In different forms of craft, but I feel confident it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, cool. Just one last thing. Longer campaign, you're taking this boat overseas?
Yeah, we are. Look, we're committed to a 2-year campaign. So 3 Hobarts in 2 years, right? So it'll be Hobart this year, Bermuda race next year, Hobart that year, Transpac race the next year, and then back down for the Hobart.
Fantastic.
So it's going to be a great thing, and look, it's very exciting, and I purposely kept the colours and the font and the look. It's a real tribute. And it's a tribute to Bob Oatley, who was so amazing to all of us. None of us would be here today without him, right? So
absolutely.
That's what that's all about.
Well, wish you great luck with getting on the water with your qualifier, presumably an overnighter.
Yeah,
and
Saturday night.
Hopefully everything's sort of working exactly as you would hope for.
Yeah, we've got a week. That's plenty of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway. All right.
Close.
Thanks
so much indeed.
Okay, so that interview was from last week, and a lot of people think that that's a lot of changes to make that are untested, basically. They've been out, they did a bunch of sailing yesterday or the day before out off the heads out in the ocean. But as Lance Burke is saying, quote from Chris Lewis, only Stan Honey is smart enough to figure out how all that stuff works in the 2 days before the start. Dolly DeVola down in Australia saying 2 days to go in Palm Beach, PB11, still hasn't sailed at full noise, but has done a 24-hour sail. Yeah, basically just fluffing around. It will either fly or fail. What do you think, Mario? Are they going to fly or fail? Can you believe all those? You're a yachtsman of considerable repute.
I wouldn't put money on it.
It's something else. Okay, well, Pedro foiling sailor for Boxing Day. I will be on Pittwater watching live with Watch Party. Strong southerly, for the first, I'm not sure how strong it's going to be, but for the first few days for the Sydney Hobart, we'll make it exciting. The start will be interesting with those foils. If they aren't deployed, or if they are deployed, it will be looking for the light. Excellent interview. Well done. I got another one here.
Their articles in general are very good.
In general, yeah, exactly. Well, here's another one. This one, this is the Comanche team, but it's Matty Allen, past president of Australian Sailing and past winner of this thing by a couple times. That is Sydney Hobart. Have a look at this interview.
We're here with Matt Allen of Masterlock Comanche. Matt, earlier this year I was talking to you and asking you were you bringing Comanche back, and you said you were on the fence. What swayed you?
Well, I think, given last year's, not finishing, retiring from the race, it was obviously we wanted to come back. But James Mayo and I really decided that if we're going to do it, we were going to do it together. So we both had to agree to do it, and we both did. So here we are back again, one more race to Hobart.
That's exciting and very good to have you here. What changes have you made? New sails, yes?
Yeah, we've made quite a few changes. Some of the things you can see, a number of new sails, clearly a new mainsail,
yes,
given what happened last year. They're pretty easy to buy. You just go to that local hardware and buy those off-the-shelf item.
Yeah, they're probably Black Friday discount.
Yeah, for sure. We've done a lot of mechanical changes to the boat, just making everything more reliable, better. Stronger, faster.
New engine as well, I think.
New engines, lots of little things that you can't see.
Yep.
Some crew changes,
all right.
just beefing up a couple of areas of the boat. So a lot of significant changes, but nothing like new boards or new masts like some of the other boats have done.
Yes, indeed. So just briefly, last year, really difficult conditions downwind, especially actually for the 100-footers, big fat heads, sails, and then jibing, and presumably battens become an issue.
Yeah.
What can you do to sort of prevent or at least reduce that chance?
Well, I think firstly is building more robust battens, which is obviously possible. Less race orientated, more ocean orientated battens. That's the first thing. Also, it's really trying to get the hydraulics working so you can actually furl sails really quickly, keeping the boat really fast. But it's that when the top of the main comes across,
so as
and
I
the
understand,
shock loads.
as I understand it, the top tends to be behind, so the lower part's gone, and then when it goes, it really flicks,
It really
and that's
flicks.
when it hits the runners and the battens get.
And that's why that's where the problems, and quite unusual conditions for the Hobart, but not unusual conditions for the ocean. You can get 30 to 40 knots anywhere, right? Whether you're going upwind or downwind. So it's something that requires very careful coordination. And speed's your friend.
Because as soon as you've got speed, you're taking pressure out of the top there. So,
and you need to be going. If you're doing wind speed, close to wind speed, that's fine. But if there's 40 knots of breeze, it's hard to be doing wind speed.
That is a little tricky.
So that's when it gets tough.
Well, hopefully that's not an issue for this year. Finally, a couple of things. Other 100-footers, so 5. Well, actually, as you said, quasi 6 really, because Lucky's nearly behaves a bit like a 100-footer, doesn't he?
I think we count Lucky in the scorecard, so I would call it 6. Race, ocean capable. 100-footers, plus or minus with Lucky, but include them in. And so it's probably the best fleet of ocean-going, maxi boats or super maxis, if you want to call them that have ever been assembled at any time, anywhere.
Well, that's really exciting, and I think that's a pretty good note on which to end. So thank you very much indeed, Matt, and look forward to seeing you more on water.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thanks.
Matt Allen, who I know from far 40 days, but it's a good point that he made. This is probably the best collection of ocean racing boats.
No.
The way the Big Boat Series used to be here, Mario.
Right.
Used to be here at St. Francis Yacht Club, but you got these 100-footers, and they're all competitive, and they're all very well crewed. And all the other boats down through the 52s, the TP52s, and right on down to the classic yachts and so on. So it's quite a deal. But wait, there's more. This is a fabulous race about to happen again, the 80th edition of the Sydney Hobart. And Julia, do you recognize the gentleman on the left by any chance? His nickname is Torpedo. Torpedo is set to launch into the Rolex Sydney Hobart. He is the famously good swimmer, the 5-time Olympic gold medalist Ian Thorpe. He is set, the Australian, who's set to dive into unfamiliar sporting waters after it was announced yesterday, some time ago actually, that he would join the crew of Law Connect. So he's going down in Law Connect for the 80th Rolex Sydney Hobart. Known globally throughout his swimming career as the Torpedo, Thorpe is considered by many to be Australia's greatest Olympian, winning 5 gold, 3 silver, and a bronze medal across the Sydney and Athens Olympics. So he is getting a lot of ink, which is bringing a lot of ink to the sport. Even more. And of course, Australia basically stops for the start of this race on Boxing Day. It's fabulous for our beloved sport. And here is, he's also getting a lot of ink for Law Connect, needless to say. Here's the thing from the Daily Telegraph from, I believe, yesterday. Have a look.
We're here in Sydney Harbour waiting for a boat that's going to take us to see one of Australia's biggest sporting icons who is making a return to sport. We're going to go see what's going on. We don't know where we're going, but let's find out.
Right. Easy.
There we go.
That's it. Welcome to Law Connect.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Ian Thorpe, thank you for bringing us onto this massive yacht. Mate, I'm hearing down the web that there's a bit of news you're potentially returning to the sporting scene.
I'm taking part in the Sydney to Hobart.
Have you ever done anything like this before, or is this a first for you? First sailing?
I've done some around like the Whitsundays, but to be doing something that has kind of what will be grueling conditions and testing conditions as well would be, that is part of the appeal. Yeah, so pretty noisy down here when the race is happening because you've got the winches and mechanics going overhead.
These bunks, this is where you guys get your little couple hours of naps in.
Yeah, so there's going to be very little sleep, but there's shifts that people will take, and there's going to be people on the team that are doing a lot more than what I'm doing.
Let's say you're quite used to, fancy hotels and nice hotels. This might be a bit of a downgrade.
I mean, what makes you think that? I heard boat sailing, great. Didn't look into it.
What was the thought process behind bringing Ian Thorpe onto your team?
Oh, well, he's one of my heroes, of course, like most Australians, I think. And we just love the fact that he wants to come with us, actually. We're delighted he's here.
Does he bring something a bit different to the team that you haven't seen before? I mean, he's got a fair bit of experience in big competitions, so...
Yeah. Oh, it's great to have a guy with lots of gold medals on there. It's awesome. Obviously, if the boat sinks, I'm getting him to rescue me first as well.
I'm going to get him to rescue me first if the boat sinks. Christian Beck says. Great stuff. Congratulations. Apparently, according to Dolly DeVola again, they take on Law Connect, they always take a few sporting stars, non-sailors, each year. So says Andrew Dolly DeVola. Okay, one more, Julia. You're going to like this one.
All right.
This is Za Tucker, who is, remember when we had Cole Brower on live from the southern Indian Ocean. They were sailing the boat from Spain. Cole Brower and Za were sailing the boat from Spain over to Australia in preparation for this and other adventures. We had them live on the show via Starlink. Well, here she is being interviewed by Crosby, and she's in the race with a women's crew of some repute.
Tucker, Hobart looming, and you've got an all-female crew, and you've spent quite a bit of time whittling them down to 5. Tell us a bit about that process.
So I started with applications, which I opened on social media. And so I had over 100 women apply for the program. And the idea of the program is to give women a chance to learn all of the boat, not just their particular role, maybe trimming or on bow, but really as co-skippers. So we're going with a crew.
So that's an interesting definition, that co-skippers effectively. At any point, any one of them could step in and be running the boat.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we do a watch system of two on, 2 off and 2 floats. Everybody will helm, including our navigator. You can sail this boat solo, obviously with the help of an autopilot, but without the autopilot, you can still do it two-handed pretty easily. So the idea is that they learn everything, and so if they need to, they can do it. But we still have dedicated positions for the start. But other than that, it's a free-for-all. So everybody has to learn everything. A lot of women were really interested in this program, and their appetite to learn and get these opportunities is huge. So I reduced that down to a squad of 10. And a lot of the 10 who aren't coming on the boat with us are actually sailing on other boats, which is fantastic. And that's exactly what we want, as many women on boats as possible.
And ranging in age between 40s and 20s?
Yeah, so as part of the actual squad, I think the youngest we had was 18. And the oldest in her 40s.
Good. And what have you done with the boat? Have you been doing mods to it?
No, not really. It's pretty much ready to go. I also don't have the budget to do too much. But thankfully she came with a full sort of 2 spare sets of rigging. So we're just going through the process now of replacing anything. So we've got our best rigging on board for the race. And there's a few things that we changed. After Tollgate, we had a problem with our furling line, so we've changed how that works. And a few tweaks just to help it be a fully crewed boat, so mainly downstairs where we store our gear.
And finally, the Globe Solo Challenge, for those who aren't aware, Zara and Cole came a very, very long way from Spain to Australia in the boat. You learned an enormous amount about that. How are things going for the 2027 Globe Solo Challenge? Getting preps underway?
Yeah, I mean, I think the sail back from Spain was a complete game changer. So I always knew it would be a challenge for me to get solo around the world non-stop ready. But I think that gave me a huge leg up. And so doing this program is sort of next level of that. So skippering a boat where I've got to teach everybody the boat. We've got to teach ourselves, learn ourselves, is being pretty full on, but it's the best way to learn.
Great. Are you entered for the Globe Solar Challenge yet, or are you looking for sponsorship?
I'm still looking for sponsorship for that.
Which you would need.
Yes, I definitely would need. I need whole new sails, refit the boat, plus get the boat to Spain.
Yeah.
So there's a long way to go. That starts on October 27. So at the moment, I want to do another women's series next year.
Great.
And continue training as many as I can.
Well, good luck for this one.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to seeing you both here and in Hobart.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate it.
We'll follow them as
Yes.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One last little segment. It's not a video segment, but since we talk so much about volunteers on this sport, on this show about volunteers in our sport, you've got to congratulate everybody involved at both ends of this race, both up in Sydney and down in Tasmania and Hobart. 80 years of volunteers were celebrated at the Hobart launch a few weeks ago, the 2025 Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. Tasmania's offshore sailing elite gathered at the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania today to celebrate the thousands of volunteers and tens of thousands of hours that have supported the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race over the years, 80-year history. Nick Hutton, Commodore of the RYCT, and Dr. Sam Haynes, who we know, Commodore of the Cruising Yacht Club, presented shirts to this year's volunteers, as you would, and spoke passionately about the dedication and tireless commitment of the volunteers and how their efforts have contributed to the ongoing success of this fabulous race. This lady, whom we don't know, but I hear good things about her, is the volunteer lead of all the volunteers down in Tasmania, Colette Calver, and she is one of two volunteer coordinators for the Rolex Sydney Hobart Village, the race village, and she spoke about what motivates her to volunteer for this iconic event. Quote, "For me, the story started a long time ago when my late father always took us to the Hobart waterfront for a walk amidst the yachts and colorful pennants. It's a memorable Hobart activity. So when I see our volunteers sharing with curious children, I know we are creating a safe and joyful experience of our sport, just as I experienced in my introduction."
That's nice.
Isn't that beautiful? Cool stuff. Volunteers, people like Mario Schumann here, who've joined us in studio. Mario, they power our sport. You power our sport, the people who give so much on the water and off. Julia, isn't that the truth?
It is. No
Herr
question.
Schumann is German originally. He's been here for what? How long, Mario? 30 some odd years?
About 35 years.
35 years. A longtime member of St. Francis Yacht Club. Dear friend, coming
Yes.
by to wish us some Christmas cheer. One more thing about all this. There is a new documentary which will be airing in January on this fabulous race. True South is the name of the doco. World premiere at the Westpac Open Air Cinema in Sydney, ahead of its national cinema release next year in 2026. Heckler and Match Point have announced that the landmark Australian documentary True South will have its world premiere at Sydney's prestigious Westpac Open Air Cinema on the 11th of January, so when the teams get back from Hobart. The film commemorates 80 years of the Sydney Hobart, and it was filmed 25 years after that race's darkest chapter in 1998, when 6 sailors lost their lives. Few sporting events hold the cultural weight of the Sydney to Hobart. Every Boxing Day, as you all know, as the cricket test breaks for lunch, millions of Australians turn their attention to the start of the great race. For days, the nation follows the fleet into one of the world's most treacherous bodies of water, Bass Strait, where shifting weather systems can turn elite competition into a fight for survival. And Julia,
yes,
you'd think poorly of me if I didn't have the trailer. Here it is.
Do you imagine driving a really, really fast car? You've got the steering wheel, another guy's got the foot on the accelerator, another guy's got his foot on the brake, okay? And you're coming into a hairy corner in the wet. That's what it's like.
There's up to 100 yachts that will start the Sydney to Hobart yacht racing, and that's why the competition's so intense.
in the sailing fraternity.
It's absolutely threading the needle.
Hobart is their Everest.
Tell them you've done a Hobart, they think you're second to God.
1 Luke's 11, 9th line honours title.
I mean, you haven't done an ocean race until you've finished the Sydney Hobart. Any sailor in the world will tell you the same thing.
I don't like coming second to anyone, and if someone underestimates me, then that's usually at their peril.
Wild Oats is the benchmark for the Hobart race, 100%.
People go to sea. In one day you sort of, well, I didn't say they underestimated it, but...
Well, we were all touched in 98. We all lost really good friends.
Everything's okay until it's not.
This is a serious sport. There's serious risks in place.
It's one wave, one broken mast, and it's not one I've ever done that at some stage you haven't sort of thought, oh, you're going to make it.
I knew that he'd go down and he'd be back in 4, 5, 6 days. Never once would it have crossed our minds that, you know, he may not come back.
3 other sailors have died and 2 more are missing after severe storms.
Tough deal, especially when you don't get the body back.
I got a call from Nathan. He said, I'm ready to do the Hobart.
I want to know what he's gone through.
No, of course, mate.
I want to do this for Dad.
Cannot sail this boat this way. You know, we could have killed people there.
Would this team be all good to go if we were going to Hobart?
I feel we're all going to die.
Not a fucking chance.
True South coming to a theater near you, at least in Australia.
Yeah.
And at some point, no doubt, we'll get that video.
That'd be good.
And play it here, I hope.
Yeah.
We hope. Andrew, Dolly DeVola telling us that the film was funded by the Winning family. You saw the junior and senior there, whose yacht Winston Churchill was lost along with lives in the 1998 race. That's the race. In fact, they talked about it in the New York Times in one of the Andy Rice articles, The Athletic / New York Times. And of course, they always bring up Larry Ellison.
Right.
Because Larry was in the 98 and won it. They won it on, it was Sayonara is the name of the boat. And Mark Turner, Kiwi Mark Turner, and Chris Dixon, and any number of others were on that boat, and they all swore they'd never go ocean racing again, including Larry. And Larry has not.
I know.
As you know, he came and gave a talk at St. Francis after that.
Yeah.
So that's coming up, and I guess it's going to air. What at the world's most beautiful cinema, the Westpac Open Air in Sydney in January. So we'll look forward to that. Finally, just to wrap this up, here is a prediction. It's on the wind. That's a southerly. You can see Sydney at the top of the screen. They come out through the heads and then turn and go south and go down along the coast and down to Tasmania, and then turn and go in the Derwent River and go up to Hobart. But it's looking, according to Lance Burke, our FOSI and also weather expert, it's looking like a mostly moderate uphill slog this year, and how much breeze we'll see. But the wind at the start on the nose the whole way down, at least for the big boats. It changes 2 days later and will be downwind along the Tasmanian, the Tasman coast for the slower boats, or so says Lance Burke, our FOSI here in San Francisco, who follows this race and others closely. And we appreciate that input, Lance. So enough for that. We don't want to leave Australia quite yet because we have a small boat feature from Alistair Murray. Waltzing Matilda is his theme song for Alistair Murray's AAAA, his awesome Aussie anecdote interviewing the 2-time gold medalist who's going to give it another go. Matt Weirin is, that's him winning his second ILCA gold in Marseille in 2024 last summer. And he's just announced that he's going to go for a third, he having won the gold before that. And he was born in 1995. He's the Australian, of course, super competitive sailor racer. He won gold in 2020 and 2024 in the men's laser, a.k.a. ILCA class. Wern has been sailing since he was 5. He chose the sport over a possible career in Australian rules football. He was inspired by the Beijing Olympic champions. Elise, I looked this up, how to pronounce this.
Yeah.
Rikichi. Elise Rikichi and Tessa Parkinson, who came to his local sailing club in Perth to show young sailors the gold medals they had won in the 470 class. And here's Alistair with Matt Wern.
G'day, Tom, Julia, and all the Fosey. This is Alistair with AAAA. Do you know what that is, Matt?
Hi.
It's Alistair's awesome Aussie anecdote. And Tom Eamon came up with that for Sailing Illustrated. So I'm out with Matt Wern. G'day, Matt. Hey, good to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks.
And we've been out for a training ride together. Matt's in Melbourne, and he's training for his build-up to the Olympics. You kept up okay with me this morning?
Yeah, just. I was holding on. Yeah, it might have been the cold weather.
Struggling, but I did go easy on him because his coach Rafa asked me to. Anyway, just a couple of minutes with Matt, a bit of a chat. I thought I'd just ask you, you're going around again for the Olympics in 2028, which we're thrilled beyond belief about. What was the thought process? Why did you decide to go again?
I think first and foremost, it was sort of why not? Yeah, I guess sort of obviously sort of thinking done it twice, why do it again? But realistically, I mean, I've only just turned 30, and yeah, it's great fun, and yeah, why not go and have another crack and yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, good on you, mate. And if you win the third gold, you'll have to go around again because you'll only be 34, right?
Well, it'll be enticing. I mean, Brisbane first and foremost, that'll probably be the biggest thing. Yeah, being a home games would be pretty special. But yeah, I think I'll just try and get through the next couple of years.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, go from there.
That'd be amazing. So we're riding together, and you're 30 and I'm 70 next week. 40 years difference. And you didn't really struggle that much to give up. And then finally, I just want to ask you a question because I know this is of interest to Tom and all of Ozzy. Olympic formats, the regatta format. So, you know, you've been through 2 complete regattas and won 2 golds, and you know, the best sailor won in the end, which was you. What do you think of the discussion, the formats, the changes, the sudden death scenarios? What are your views on that?
I'm a bit of a traditionalist, I guess, in that sense. So I think sailing is the kind of sport that it really rewards the consistency over a week, and I think that's what's special about our sport at the Olympics as well, that we compete over 6 days, and I think it would be a shame to see that side of the sport go away for this sudden death kind of thing. I think for maybe the new classes that are coming in, it's an okay thing to start something new in that realm, but I think for us in the ILCAs and I guess our traditional classes, that having that consistency and rewarding the performance over the week is really important. But I don't see why there can't be a strike between the two as well. I think there is opportunity to bring both sides in, and I think it would just be a bit rough to see someone have a really great 5 days and on that 6th day they potentially doesn't fall into their wheelhouse and then they lose a medal for that. So anything we can do to avoid that.
We saw that happen in Marseille with Emma from England.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah,
it's tragic.
You could be 30 plus points in front going into that medal series, and yeah, I mean, I think she ended up with a medal, but not necessarily the colour that she wanted, or deserved. So the people say the Olympic medal's an Olympic medal, but I think if you've got a bronze, a silver, or a gold, it's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think there's going to be a lot of agreement from the viewers of Sailing Illustrated with your point of view. I think the word you used was deserve. You know, the best sailor deserves to win.
Yeah, and I think that's what's special about our sport. Yeah. I think, it's sort of, we trained for 4, 8, 10 years to get to that point. But yeah, to have that week where you have to be great over a certain range of conditions, and a week-long event that, it's important to keep that sort of traditional sort of history side of the sport. Yeah,
fantastic. That's all we've got time for, Matt. Cheers. Thanks for the ride this morning. Good hanging out with you. Merry Christmas to Tom, Julie, and all the Fosey, and Merry Christmas from Matt. Cheers. Bye.
What a terrific interview.
Yes.
And getting somebody of the stature of Matt Wern, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, could well win it again, age 30, 40 years younger than Alistair and than me.
Yeah.
But he's just an all-around nice bloke. Pedro foiling sailor Peter Stevenson saying, Baton Rouge, it seems everyone is a traditionalist when it comes to the format. Yeah. Blake Middleton saying, Matt is 100% right on consistency being critical. I like the comment from David James, too. It seems pretty unlikely that a fluky wind shift would affect the 100-meter dash. or shot put in the last round. And I think that's the point that everybody makes, that sailing has we're at, to a degree, the vagaries of the weather gods and so on. So, okay, Alistair, thank you very much for another terrific AAAA.
They're always so good. Yeah.
They are always so good. Alistair's awesome Aussie anecdote. Okay, Julia, we're getting close to wrapping this up. We're to the nast. We're the last leg. Good thing, because I can't talk anymore. The last leg, and I do have an interesting one for you, and that is coming up. We talked about it at the top of the show. The King's Cup.
Yes.
In Phuket.
Yes.
You see, I pronounced that more carefully.
Thank you very much.
The Phuket.
Yes.
In Phuket, in Thailand. Let's have a look at this, because this was quite a good event. And the Team Hollywood, and Andrew McIrvin will know these guys. These are IRC boats, but they won the IRC Zero class at the 37th, just completed a week or so ago, the Phuket King's Cup, and it came down to the last race on the last day to decide the winner in 4 of the classes competing in this event, even though Thailand's THA-72 Vayu, which is a TP52, and they're on the circuit, did win the 8th and final race in their series, both on corrected and elapsed time. And even though Vayu had the same number of points as Team Hollywood, Ray Roberts' boat took home the coveted IRC Zero class based on one more first-place finish, so it went to the tiebreak in the series, as they won 4 races while Vayu won 3. Of note, Julia.
Yes.
Can you see the lady on the rail? All covered up there. There's a better look at her.
Oh, yes.
Her Majesty Queen Suthida.
Oh, yes.
Competed in the 37th Phuket King's Cup Regatta aboard the yacht Vayu in the IRC Zero class on December 3rd, securing first place. She sailed more than one race. Her role ostensibly was navigator. Her Majesty skillfully guided the team to the finish line swiftly and safely. The event is held for the King's Royal Trophy and features 120 yachts from over 10 nations at Kata Beach in Phuket from the end of November into December. And this was the event that's been going on, the 37th thereof, been going on since 1987. Here is the video.
My name Nandan. This is our first time here. Boat's name is Kadush. It's a J122. Most of our team is from India, and we sailed off all the way from India to participate in the Phuket King's Cup. This is my 4th year here. So the first 2 years was just supporting my daughter, who was sailing the open skiff, and she's won 2 times over. Last year we chartered a boat. This year we brought my own boat, and it's been a great experience.
私はタイに来るのは初めてです。ですのでこのプーケットのそのキングスカップも初めて来ました。友人に誘われて来ましたけれども、実際参加してみて非常にこの綺麗な景色の中でヨットレースができるということは非常に私の人生の中でも非常に大切な1ページになることは間違いありません。ですのでここに来て非常に良かったというふうに思っています。
I like the gentleman's comment. Racing on a yacht in such beautiful scenery is, I'm sure, an important part of my life. Mm-hmm. It was really a nice sentiment, I thought. Mary Longpree, way to go, Ray Roberts. She must know the gentleman. Team Hollywood, so happy for you all. I saw Mary Julia and her husband as we were leaving to go to the airport at Balboa Yacht Club on Sunday morning. They were just coming in for brunch. We having just finished up.
Oh, good.
With the McDonald's, and it was a fabulous weekend in Newport Beach, and great to see Mary. She had a couple other cool comments there earlier in the show, but she gets down to Australia the fabulous, I'm using the word over and over, but it's true, the esteemed photographer that she is,
Yes.
both for us in GovCup.
Yes.
But she gets down to Australia and beyond and does Hamilton Island Race Week and other events down
Yes.
there and knows a lot of these Aussie and Southeast Asian sailors.
That's
Mary
great.
Longpre, so nice to see you in the chat.
Right.
Mary, that gets us to the D block, Julia, and your favorite gentleman. I've only got, because I knew this show, we're, 2 hours and 13 minutes in. I knew it was going to be a long one with all these cool videos that we had, Julia.
Yes.
So here in Whiskey Tango Foxtrot is one submitted by John Lambert's Van Bureau. Stop killing the ducks to make duct tape.
Yes.
You know, I don't know how many people think duct tape is somehow from ducks.
Yes.
But of course it's DUCT.
Yeah.
It's used to HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning. And that silver tape, duct tape, is DUCT tape, but we all call it duct tape because it's easier to pronounce.
Right.
Stop killing the ducks to make the duct tape, John Lambert's Van Buren said. Christmas sentiment. We're not going to kill any ducks. We're going to have we're going to have some kind of a honey roasted ham, honey glazed ham. How do you call that?
Yeah.
Honey roasted?
Yeah.
Honey glazed ham. Do you like that?
I love it.
You're coming down for dinner on Christmas Day, right?
Yes.
And Darlene Hines is coming over.
Yes.
And then we will come into Studio B 3 hours later and go live at 5:30 for our start.
Be joyful.
And be joyful throughout. Yeah. And that's the Blake Middleton final slide for this show. Got a few more shows this year. 2 more this week.
Yeah.
Couple next week. And we're looking forward to those. Julia, at the finish line, you like to say.
Yes. Do us and yourself a favor by following, and share.
Indeed. Comments are welcome, even in replay. We appreciate all of you who give us a few bucks a month. This is viewer-supported media, keeping us on the air, keeping us with equipment and the streaming fees, the software fees to keep us going. We've dropped 0 frames again today, Julia. I've had virtually no problems.
Well done.
So that's good. But thanks all of you who give us some money each month. Patreon.com/join/Sailing Illustrated. We appreciate each and every penny from those of you who do support us. We also appreciate very much those of you who give us audio, video, and images for today's show. There's a whole long list of people. That was one of the most extensive shows, number of slides, both audio or both images and video, I think, that we've ever done. As we close in, Julia, on show number 900.
Yes.
7 more shows. Merry Christmas to Greg Phillips, to Thierry DeYong and Ted Ryman, and all the rest of you. Sail fast, sail safe, and Merry Christmas, everyone. And we hope that all of you have a great rest of your week. We will be going live, as I said, on our Christmas night. We got 3 shows this week today, and then Christmas night for the Rolex Sydney to Hobart Yacht Race Watch Party. By the way, we're streaming that, not just, I probably will put up a Zoom facility, so if you want to come on and comment during the race via Zoom. But that means you'll become a part of the show, because we're going to stream it to YouTube and Facebook, just like we do this show. This is not going to be a private watch party like we did for the Sail GP finale in Abu Dhabi.
Right.
This will be live to Facebook and YouTube, and we will have a Zoom facility, again, for those of you that want to come in and participate as talking heads, so to speak.
Yes.
So that's this Thursday at 17:30 Pacific. That's 01:30 for you in Europe on Friday, and at your normal time, which is 12:30 down under, for the start of this race. New Year's week, next week, we'll do our regular Tuesday and Friday shows at 1300 Pacific. Julia?
Sir?
Final thought before we break for Christmas?
It's hard to believe we've done so many shows.
But everyone's been fun.
It has.
Each and every one.
And different.
And different. Like today, we had so much content, so many cool things going on in our beloved sport.
And people, we keep meeting great new people every time.
And you just, when you think you've kind of got the whole thing down. Alistair comes up with an interview with Matt Weirn, who I had I opened my mail up when he sent it to me last night, having no idea what he's done.
Yeah.
Fabulous stuff. John's thing was great again today. And all those, I want to thank Crosby Lorimer for those videos so we could preview the Sydney Hobart race with his videos. And I know a lot of you especially like that one with Tucker. I think that last one with her all-women's team. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and we'll see you Thursday night, Christmas night, here for our last show. Well, not last show. It's not at all our last show. In the meantime, have a great week. Sail fast, sail safe, have fun. Ciao.
All right.
For now.